evening, everybody. My name's Heather Reisman. I am Indigo's chief book lover, and it is always my pleasure to welcome you here. Mr. Trudeau was born on December 25th, 1971. That was so recent, right? The eldest son of the late former Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau and Margaret Sinclair Trudeau Kemper. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our guest this evening, Mr. Trudeau. All right. In fact, I think I am just one of the literally millions of Canadians who grew up with a whole understanding of the Trudeau phenomena and are very excited about what you are doing and what you are bringing to this country. So let's talk about the book, Common Ground, and how much common ground do we have with you.
Canada is too big, too diverse a country to have only one opinion matter in how we actually run it. And I'm excited about the incredible team of extraordinary candidates we're gathering together across the country. The experts who are coming out of the woodwork to get us to build evidence-based policy instead of ideology-based policy. And people who are coming forward and saying, you know what, we can be part of building a better future and a better solution for us all. That's what true leadership is, and that's what I'm excited about. So I had an escape, and I started reading with that, and Archie's first, but then I dove into a lot more books, and I've always been an incredibly avid reader. And I was talking with a librarian, actually at one point as a teacher, and she was saying one of the reasons why reading is so powerful for young people is that, and we all know that young people tend to be consumed by themselves and their own desires and their own focus and their own abilities. When you read a book and you properly dive into it, you are suddenly discovering someone else's mind, someone else's thinking. You project yourself into the mind of a character in the pages, and it's a very, very powerful tool for discovering empathy, and that was certainly part of it. But I think we also do need to be very worried about what's happening in the Middle East. The rise of extremism, homegrown terrorism, that we need to make sure that our police services and security services have the capacity to investigate and protect us from, with the support of the communities who are most often touched, in this case the Muslim communities, who are seeing young men being radicalized and are extremely worried about this, as we all are. I think Canada has an important role to play on the world stage in pushing against ISIS and making sure that it is not allowed to spread and to continue to oppress and enact barbaric acts of violence against people in northern Iraq and in Syria and elsewhere, but also that we keep ourselves protected from it. I have a bit of a disagreement with the Prime Minister on the best way to actually do that. I think most of the experts around the world are fairly clear that a force like ISIL will only be defeated by boots on the ground, preferably by boots of people from the region on the ground, the local armies. And that's why I supported, and the Liberal Party supported, the government's motion to actually send people to train Canadian Forces officers to train and support the local armies that are taking the fight on the front lines against ISIS. But if Canada was to step across the line into a combat role from a non-combat role, that's a big line to cross. And what I've been calling on the Prime Minister is to make clear that the case is for him to make. The onus of the burden of proof is on him to demonstrate that, in this case, airstrikes is going to be the best use of Canadian resources. We can do a tremendous amount about training, about humanitarian help, around refugees, but even on our military side, we can help with medical, we can help with logistics support. There are a lot of things that Canada can and should be doing to support the allies in this coalition against ISIS, and I feel that the Prime Minister made a political decision around sending in fighter jets, and not a decision that is in the best long-term interest either of Canada or the world, because we can do better than that.
Big kiss, wonderful.
Thank you so much.